that we can naturally train it. And if any coaches out there have whatever different philosophies on hitting, which every coach in America does, everything I just given you so far has got little to do with technique. In a sense, it's got a lot to do with environmental changes, mindset changes, because when you change your mind, you could change your swing. And when you change the environment, you could also influence a swing change. But now we're going to get towards the end here. We're going to focus on two things at the end here. One is a perspective of timing, and two is a perspective of technique. So one of the things that we tell our hitters, and this might be the most common thing that we see timing wise that hitters struggle with in terms of being late, is they don't dance well with the pitcher. In other words, they get started too late. So we want our hitters to dance with the pitcher. We want them to sync their movement up with the pitcher's movement. When the arm goes up, we want the hitter to start loading up. So with that said, here's a couple examples of this. Notice when the pitcher's arm starts going up, Harper's leg starts going up. And I put a note here to remind everybody, if you're videoing your kid or your team, anybody on your team, most people, when they video, they get what I call mechanical view only. It's a side view. I like to see hitters with the pitcher in the video, because if I could see the pitcher in the video, some of the mechanical issues I might see might be caused by simply starting late. The dance is the hitter's eyes ideally would be right at the pitcher's glove so he could see handbrake. As the arm comes up, the leg comes up. We dance with the pitcher really well. Oftentimes, guys are late loading up because their eyes are not in the right place. They're generally just staring at the pitcher. The arm starts to move. The hitter hasn't moved yet. And if you haven't moved, if you get a late start against a high velocity guy, it's going to be really hard to catch up. So this is just another example. Watch how the pitcher's arm starts rising. And at the same time, Josh Donaldson's leg starts rising. It's almost like they're on a string. Arm comes up, leg comes up. And our general rule of thumb is this: whether you have a low leg kick, high leg kick, whatever, we want to be at the peak of your lift before the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. And if we can do that, we can react to high velocity pitching. In fact, we were talking about high velocity machines before. The most common complaint for people hitting off the machine says, oh, I can't see the ball, or my stride is messed up. We will do this exact drill off the machine, getting hitters into this position at times before the ball comes out of the machine, just simply so they can get used to reading and reacting a ball from this point just coming out of the pitcher's hand, understanding that you don't want to be loading up as the ball is exiting the hand. You want to be loaded up before it leaves the hand, especially against high velocity pitching. So take a look again. Slow and early, we like to call this. Load slow and early versus quick and late. And watch the dance. As he breaks his hands and the arm starts to come up, you start to see as he breaks his hands. Now, that's not going to happen if his eyes are not following handbrake. The eyes got to be following that. It seems really kind of elementary, but it's important. Watch the dance here. As the pitcher moves, he moves. As the arm comes down and up, he moves. Now, picture this. What if this hitter was on the on-deck circle? This is what you're trying to get your hitters to do, right? You're just trying to get them to dance with the pitcher on the on-deck circle so they get a chance to get an idea of when to get started. They don't have to swing on the on-deck circle. They could just simply work on, when do I get started?